Hello everybody, hope y'all are doing okay out there. Thank you for joining me for this video. We are going to be doing an experiment in this video. I recently took this Zippo here, and this Zippo was painted orange, and it had some words on it. You can go back and watch the video to see what it looked like beforehand. And I soaked it in acetone to get the orange paint off, and then I buffed this Zippo up with my buffer and then polished it up and got a good mirror polish on it. I think it come out looking really nice. Nevertheless, one thing that I noticed when I got done, and one thing that was noted in the comments of the video, was how nice of a click the lid on this particular Zippo has. This one here on my right is just a straight brass. This is the like $10 one. You can get it off Amazon or get it on Walmart. And it's a rough brass, and it has a clear coat on it. A clear coat of some sort. You can see it there. Where this one is just bare brass. Like I said, it's very, very reflective. But this one's bare brass, where this one here has a clear coat on it. But it was noticed by me and then people commenting in the comments, which I was surprised that it could be that easily recognizable coming through the camera, was the click that this one has when you open it. It has a higher pitched click than this one here with the clear coat. Could you all hear the difference there? Let me flip this around here so we'll have one on either side for the microphone to show you that it's not just an illusion. So from what I can tell, this one has more of a thud, and this one has more of a ring to it. Hear that? So I was trying to think of what the difference might be. I switched the inserts, and when I switch the inserts, I get the same result. Let's see here. We'll flip them here on camera just so we can show. If we switch these inserts, I get the same result. This one still has a higher ring. So it has nothing to do with the cam or the spring. So here we go. Hear that? So it has nothing to do with the insert. That doesn't affect it at all. It has to do with the case, because the sound stays with the case, not with the insert. So I find that very interesting. Now there is a difference in the years. This one right here is a 21. And this other one right here is a 2024. Yeah, you can barely see it on there. You can see it on the bottom of here pretty easily. So, anyways, I was trying to think what's causing the difference here. Because I kind of like the way that this one sounds a little bit better. So I was trying to figure out what the difference is, and was thinking about guitars. I play guitars, and on a guitar, depending on the kind of finish over the wood, it makes a difference as to how that guitar is going to perform. My favorite guitar is a Recording King I have, and it just has a natural matte finish. It has almost no finish on it at all, and it sounds a lot better than some of the fancier guitars with a lot of gloss finish. And my understanding is that the gloss finish can restrict the resonance of the wood. And so what I'm wondering is maybe this clear coat is restricting the resonance of the brass there because the coat's thicker. And maybe that's why it has a deeper thud when you open it. There's not a whole lot of difference, but there is a difference. And so I'm wondering if maybe that clear coat is the only thing that is making the difference. So we're going to test it. We're going to test this out. I'm going to remove the clear coat because I really don't want a clear coat on there anyway. I'd prefer to let this patina up. And so we are going to remove the clear coat on this one. Then we're going to see if our sounds get more similar after the clear coat is removed. Now I will say that it is interesting, but these Zippos are a slightly different size. They're both the classic one, to the best of my telling, but I don't think I'm going to be able to show it on camera. The one on the left is slightly taller, and that may just be because of the kind of finish that it has done on it. But it is interesting that the lid is a little bit taller. It's not much, but it is a little bit taller. Either way, the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do it the same way I stripped the paint off of this one. I'm going to pop it in some acetone. So I have poured out my leftover acetone nail polish remover. You can see it's tinted yellow, I guess because of the orange paint. And so I'm just going to pop this Zippo in there, let it set for a while to loosen up the clear coat, and then we'll go from there, and we're going to try to see if that affects the sound. So some of this, of course, is going to be subjective, but it'll be an interesting comparison, just to see if removing the clear coat affects the sound of the lighter when it opens and when it closes. So I'm going to put a lid on this container and let this set for a while, and then I'll keep checking in on it to see at what point the clear coat starts softening up, where we can scrape it off of the lighter. Okay, we're back again. We've had this lighter soaking here in this acetone for maybe about an hour, something like that, about an hour. It's not been too long. I saw one or two other people try to do this, and they said that the clear coat softened up very quickly. And so we're going to check it. It may have softened up a lot quicker than the paint did on our other Zippo that we already did. So let's pull it out of here and take a look at it. It feels a little sticky, so that might be a sign that is starting to loosen up. And look at that, you can see a spot where it was resting in there. That's probably a good sign that this is starting to loosen up on here. Look at that. Oh, I better get that on camera there. I'm just kind of raking that off there. I'm trying not to use any kind of metal utensil because I don't want to scratch up the brass any more than I have to. See if we can rake that off there. Yeah, it's coming off all right, isn't it? So yeah, I think I'm just going to have to take this clothespin. And again, I'm using a clothespin because it's wood, and because I got it nearby, and because I'm a redneck. That last reason is probably the best reason. Why not use a clothespin when you're a redneck, right? Nevertheless, I'm going to do some of that scraping like that right there on it before this gets real dried out. I don't know if this clear coat would harden back up or not, but I don't really want to take the chance. So I'm going to stop the camera here, and I'm going to keep scraping for a little bit, and then I'll be back once I've got some more of this clear coat scraped off. Okay, so I've just kept scratching and scraping and pulling and tugging. And you can see I've got off a lot of this clear coat. It's basically some kind of like plastic, is what it seems like. Nevertheless, it only took about an hour in the in this acetone, and it really did a good job. Just loosened it right up, and I was able to just peel it right off. So now, as you can see by looking at it, the clear coat's gone. You're just looking at straight brass now. There are a few different scratches and scrapes on this brass, and I'm sure that is certainly a trait of this straight brass. It's not meant to be perfectly mirror polished up. And even scraping with my clothespin, I was able to put just very few slight scrapes and scratches in it, which I'm not worried about. Who knows, I might end up buffing this one up to be shiny, like this one anyway, because I do like the shiny. But we're going to see here. Now's the time for the big test. The question is, did removing the clear coat, did that raise the pitch or not when you open the lighter? That's the question. It may not have, but it may have. And I know that on a guitar that a coating like that can affect the resonance. And I'm sure that would be possible on something like a lighter like this also. And so we're going to get our big test. Now, I guess it's possible that the finish on the brass could have something to do with it, but I think that's far less likely. And it may just be the difference from Zippo to Zippo, but we're going to check it right here. Here's the moment of truth. Beforehand, this one had a higher ring, and this one was a lot lower. We're going to see if they're more similar now. So we're going to do the this one first. Here we go. Let's see if that affected it or not. It may not have. I don't think it did. I think they still sound about like they did before. Yeah, there's a little bit of difference, I think. What do y'all think? Let's switch sides here. Yeah, I think they're a little bit closer than they were. But I can still tell a difference there. Yeah, I can still tell a difference there. So, I think it did raise the pitch a little bit, but it did not make it sound exactly identical. So that is kind of interesting. I wish I would have noticed the way this one sounded compared to this one before I polished this one. I wish I would have done that, but I didn't think about it. So I'm curious if this one changed after removing the paint. I think it's closer. What do y'all think? I'm not positive it's closer, but I think it is. The other thing I'm wondering is, I don't believe there's any... Is there any clear coat on the inside? I don't think there was, but I'm going to check that out. Look in there and see if there's any clear coat on the inside. If there is, then I would certainly need to remove that also. Okay, so there was just a very little bit of clear coat just around the edges here. I just went ahead and scraped that out of there. There wasn't much on the inside at all from the best I can tell. For the most part, it's bare brass, but I did scrape a little bit out. Get the insert popped back in here. So again, to compare it to the high polished brass, compared to, what do y'all think? I think it's a lot closer than it was. From the best I can tell, the high polished brass has still got a more of a cling to it. But this one has a lot more cling than it did. So it's very interesting. Y'all out there who have more experience with these, let me know why some of them have a higher clang than others, and what affects that. Like you can tell it's a whole lot closer than it was. It brought the pitch up quite a bit, but it didn't bring it up just absolutely to the same level. And so what I'm figuring is it's probably the finish on the outside here. This highly polished finish is probably a little bit thinner because of all the buffing. It probably thinned out the brass a little bit. And on top of that, maybe it not having these grooves and these little divots in it, like this one does, that may make it, that may adjust the sound of it a little bit. It's getting pretty close there. One thing I am going to do, let me weigh these really quick, and we'll see how much difference there is. I'm thinking that this one that I've buffed is going to be a lot lighter, but I don't know that. We're going to find out. So let's see here. There we go. This is the one that I polished up. 1.00 ounces. 1.00. Now let's try this one. 1.00, no difference. I was expecting it to be a little bit heavier. That's interesting. So they weigh the same then. Yep, they both weigh the same. Of course, the amount of fuel and so on would vary in the insert, but that shouldn't be making a difference. So comment down below if you would, if you know why some Zippos have a higher tang or clang than the others do. It's pretty interesting. Like I said, taking that clear coat off, to my ear, it did raise it a little bit, but it isn't as high pitched as the other one yet. So I don't really necessarily need them to both be as high pitched, but I did like the higher clang. And this one now sounds good after we have removed this clear coat from it. So it sounds good now. So yeah, y'all have a good day. Thank you for watching. And since this is a knife channel, I'll say it. Keep your knives sharp.